Hi, good evening everybody, and welcome to Cooking Uncovered. And Carl and myself, Miriam, we're here to show you the tastiest ravioli in the world. So welcome to Cooking Uncovered. This recipe is so simple, really it is so simple, and I'm using these great ingredients for the ravioli filling. And Carl and I are going to show you how to process the pasta sheets so that you get them nice and thin and they're so delicious. So this dough, so we can start working it, I think. Hey? So what you do with your dough is that you, in a mixer or by hand, you mix. I just need some flour, Carl. We need some flour on your board to start with, just a little bit, because you want to make sure that your pasta is lightly floured, because otherwise it'll stick in your machine and you don't want that. So we're on setting number 1, which is quite thick for pasta, and we're going to go to setting number 7 eventually. So this is 2, and you keep doing this, and now we turn to 3, and you keep doing this until it gets thinner and thinner and thinner, and all the while you're feeling it, and if it's getting sticky you have to keep on adding more flour. So now this is 4, 5, this is 5, and it's going to be paper thin, and what you want is you do want it thin, because you don't want to end up with a whole glob of just pasta in your mouth when you're looking for this beautiful ravioli filling, which we'll talk about in a second. So you keep doing this until it gets really, really thin. So on my board here, so this is 7, and it's very thin, and it's beautiful, and this is what it ends up looking like. And of course, you do want sheets. You want the ravioli sheets. So what we've just did these sheets 2 seconds ago. So I'm going to lightly flour my board again, because you want flour on the bottom, and the sheets go on. Now what's going to happen is this filling goes, we put a large tablespoon on every, so we're going to do maybe 2, maybe 6. So this filling that I've made will make approximately 30 raviolis, and I'll talk about the filling in the middle. So, Carl, could you just egg wash those for us? I'm going to put these over here so he can egg wash. Now, the filling, excellent, excellent, excellent. What I started out with was 3 anchovy fillets and 3/4 cup of shallots and 2 teaspoons of garlic in a saute pan. Slightly saute that till the onions are transparent. And then I added 1 teaspoon of Madras curry. It just smelled so beautiful, it's wonderful. Then, in the processor, I put in my faithful friend, Philadelphia cream cheese, half a package into the processor. Then, you add 1 cup of cooked yams, 1 cup of cooked potatoes, half a teaspoon salt, and you process that up till it's nice and smooth. Now, at that point you could stop. But what I did end up adding was a tablespoon of ginger, ground ginger, and 5 fresh prawns, because we like the prawns. And what I did, I peeled and deveined the prawns, and you just throw them into this raw. So this is raw prawns, so it has to be cooked. You can't use this for a dip. This has to go in a cooked product. So Carl has egg washed in between. Now we take the sheets, and the flour's on the outside. That's the flour, that's the non-flour side. So flour's on the outside. And we're going to lay this down onto our sheets like this, and I'm going to press this side down, and then it goes in between, and then at the end. Now don't worry about it if it isn't perfect. So this is what it kind of ends up looking like. You see that? That's what it ends up looking like. So now we're going to press all the edges together. Carl's going to hold this up here for me, so we can do that. So we're going to press in between with our hands and on the outside, so that every ravioli is so that it's all sealed on all sides. So you want to make sure that it's on all the way around, and you want to get all the air bubbles out, and you've sealed it all the way around. So that's perfect. Now what we do is we cut. So you take these, you take your favorite cookie cutter, and you simply, around the ravioli, you simply just with your cookie cutter, and this, voila, this is what you end up with. And we'll do the rest of the cutting off camera, but basically this is exactly what you end up with because we've just done some beforehand. So these beautiful raviolis have to sit for about half an hour to an hour, and this is what we're going to put into our boiling water. Now this is part one of pasta making, and just remember, when you start to put your pasta through the machine, don't get discouraged because it tends to fall apart to start with. You just keep folding it up in half, and you put flour only on the outside, never on the inside folded part. And then eventually, after 12 or 15 times, did we do that 12 times, Carl?
At least.
At least 12 times, and you keep working it. And then you start on the dial to get it thinner and thinner and thinner, until you end up with a beautiful pasta sheet like this. And so you could use this, of course, for lasagna, or we could make linguine or spaghetti, or anything if you wanted, or tagliatelle, anything. So here's our part one of our ravioli making, or pasta making, and thanks for joining us. So that worked, didn't it, Carl?
It worked.
It worked very well. So thank you very much for joining us with Cooking Uncovered. Look for part two of how we're going to cook these and plate them. So thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you
Bye.
part two. Bye-bye.